and I felt something coming down the hallway of my house. And I say I woke up, but my body didn't wake up. My body was laying in bed, and I rolled out of my body, and I looked up, and there was really wasn't that tall. He might have been right at 6 foot. There was looked like an angel, but his face was solid black, and where his hair was solid black, was whole. His hands were black holes, and he had on a white-looking robe, but it looked like it had a black dinge over it. And without ever hearing him say a word, he spoke to me, and he said, "I am the 5th fallen angel, and you've served me well, and you will serve me again." That's what he told me. And at that particular time, there was something inside of me, like a lightning ball went poosh, and when it got there, he was already gone. And once more after that, I'd been gone for the weekend to see my family and came back, and I was sitting on a picnic table, and to my left, the wind was blowing some trees there. It was just about dusky dark, and the wind was blowing the trees. And as the wind was blowing the trees, I began to see this same image standing over there. And I could see whatever this cape or whatever this clothes was he had on, I could see it blowing in the same wind that was blowing the trees. And it looked like he had a sword on or something. And he looked at me and he told me, he said, "If you don't serve me, I'm going to kill your family." I said, "No, you're not." And about that time, whatever it was inside of me the first time, I had no control over it the first time. It was like I was a child and God was taking care of me. But the second time this thing appeared to me, it was like I had somewhat of a little control over what was happening. And when I told him he wasn't going to kill my family, that power released from my spirit. And once again, when it got there, he wasn't there. He was already gone. I saw him twice. A friend of mine lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. He and his wife had been married for over 7 years. And we'd stopped by to see him in November. It's been several years ago. And we're in a 100-year-old house this man's had and his family for over 100 years. And there's a big wide hallway, and we're standing in it praying. And we pray these simple little prayers, bless these people, Lord, keep them safe till we get to see them again, and bless their business. And while we're doing this, I hear down in my spirit, I hear the pitter-patter of little feet in this house. And so when we get through praying, I look at this lady that has 2 abortions, and she does not have the parts to have a child. Her last abortion was with a coat hanger. It really messed her up. So she don't even have the parts to have a child. So I look at her and I say, I hear the pitter-patter of little feet in this house. She says, "Oh, I wish it was so. But we've been married 7 years, and we've asked God, if it's your will, we'll have a baby. So we've never had one, so evidently it's not his will." I said, "Well, I'm just telling you. I hear the pitter-patter of little feet in this house. Matter of fact, coming down this hallway right behind me." So that's in November, and we leave. And January the 1st, I invite this couple down to our house, and we have a New Year's Eve dinner. And while we were there together, this lady says, "By the way, I know what the pitter-patter was that you heard the other day while we were praying." I said, "What's that?" She said, "The other day I was washing dishes, and I heard the 2 little black lab puppies that somebody gave us coming down the hallway, and their feet were going pitter-patter." And she said, "Well, now that's what Brother Ed heard." And I looked at her and I said, "No, that's not what I heard." That was the first day of January. Following Saturday, the phone rang, and it was her on the phone. She said, "Hello?" And my first words to her was, "When is it due?" And she says, "My gosh, I was pregnant last week when I was laughing at you." And his name is Matthew. Another occasion, I had a friend of ours that actually now my daughter is married to one of this lady's sons. And she had 3 sons by 2 different husbands. She had 2 daughters by another husband. The man she was married to had 2 daughters by 2 different wives. So do you think they might have been in the market for some children? I don't think so. They were all small children she had. And we were at their house, and so we got ready to leave that day, and I said, let's say a word of prayer before we leave. And so we joined hands and we began to pray. And while we were praying, I saw a little blonde-headed boy running across the backyard in this broom straw. And I told this lady, I said, you know, I see a little blonde-headed boy running across your backyard. And she looked straight at me and she said, we don't need any more children. I said, well, I'm telling you what I saw. And so 2 months later, I come home from work and my wife says, you were right. I said, what's that? She said, she's pregnant. I said, really? Well, cool. That was with her tubes tied and burned. She was pregnant. Was it my faith that did that? Or was it the fact that I was willing to say what I heard in my spirit? And was it the fact that God could put life to the words that he had spoke to me in my spirit? How many times do we miss it whenever we don't speak what we hear? You know, Jesus said, I only do what I see him do, and I only say what I hear him say. And many times, you know, we put our 2 cents worth in it and we don't get anything out of it because we don't have the umpire to say what we hear God say.